The National Postal Museum of Ethiopia was established on August 19, 1975 as one of the various cultural institutions in Ethiopia. The museum allows anyone to understand the historical factors of ancient postal services.
The postal system in general started in 18th centuries. Even the regional lords, they order to the ordinary people when the postman came to your village or your town, you have to take your home and then you have to wash the food and give food. The second one is, is normally found in Piazza again. Commonly they call it, old post office. And also inaugurated, cut this ribbon by this golden scissors and wrote an inscription at that time in 1962. In Ethiopia calendar, general country is written and the denomination is written because payment for the service of the post office, the distance and the weight. The very important thing is, physically, when we want to see Lucy, we can go to there, National Museum. But this not museum, the post office has a responsibility to keep the history in one way in another. So the postal system, the postal office want to keep the history of Lucy visually. Okay. Even RD and also Salam 3.3, 4.4, but she is representative. So archaeological excavation, prehistory, history, there are so many tools, stones, metal items excavated from this kind of things also kept here. So this is a representative, that's why we select already.
One thing that I have noticed is on each stamp, the price of it are different. There we have 2 birr, we have 35 birr. What brings the disparity?
Okay, this is 2 birr for the only Lucy. These are, the team is here. When the post office and the Universal Postal Union also decide the rate. The rate is very critical, universally studied, because the postal system serves to the society, not the aggressively profitable, not accepted that. There is a procedure, there is a protocol, this kind of messages to send through the UPU. So we decide the prices according to, this is 35 cents, this is 40 cents, not given to the picture, but the service what we want to accompany. If we want to send to the Redwa, it might be 40 cents. If you pay one, we attach one stamp on your post. If there is 75 birr, 75 cents somewhere outside or somewhere far, we can use 2 together by adding this denomination, they said.
So all these do have similar aesthetics value as well?
Yes, definitely. Okay. Because it is the stamp hold national identity and procedurally produced to increase culture, history of that nation. Yeah. So these things are the same meaning. The other is very interesting is this is a gold stamp.
Okay, this one.
This one is a gold stamp. Ethiopia Post Office produced this golden stamp in 1973-1974. For 1 year we used this. This is a memorial gold stamps.
Was everybody lucky enough to have this post, or only privileged people?
For 1 year, maybe there is a chance. If they were awareness or this kind of things, they hold some of the people. Otherwise, the philatelic members, they took, because as a member, the post office have responsible to send you, because there is a philatelic member in Ethiopia.
Okay, so do we still have this availability?
No.
Okay.
No. Yes.
Okay, and we move to where?
Yes, but before we move, let me tell you in general, this is the Ethiopian stamp collection. This collection produce a length of 130 years. As I told you, the stamp hold many, many issues, internal issue and national issue, and global and external issue. So Ethiopia concerned about the international issue, because she start from League of Nations. In 1990, League of Nations was found, but Ethiopia participated or joined 1923. So every international issue is an issue of her. So that's why any human right, education, anti-apartheid, and also development issue, all these things depicted in Ethiopia. So because Ethiopia share their what we call the idea, so in that way it's explore through the stamp, her participation or this kind of things.
So the role of stamp by then is very significant.
Very significant, and explore many things. We can, as I told you, it's encyclopedic information we will get.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So,
the next one is we are a member of Postal Union, so we work together with 195 countries. When we produce a memorial issue and somehow definitive issues, like memorial issue is historically significant and kept in the museum. Definitive stamp is working today for operations, a large number, and then it serves for a long. Memorial is not more than 6 months. Otherwise, it is not memorial. So we kept in the museum. So when we produce memorial issue, we send to all the member countries. The member countries, the reverse also, they send to us. So this museum is lucky because it gets from 190 countries a stamp. So the collection is very rich. So that's why this museum, I said, unique, because international and national treasury or heritage. As I told you, it's too much, 195 countries collection, so we can categorize and classify it, not chronologically, but continentally. So that's why Europe we have, African, South America, North America, Asia, and like that. So this is a slide out showcase we can display here. More we display on that side, we will see, maybe according to its importance together. We can see in these sections our indigenous knowledge in one way or another. Like crafts, we have basketry work, woven work, wick work, metal works, and jewelries as well. And also there are so many religious, like Zagwe's time, yes, this kind of things. It shows the indigenous knowledge of the Ethiopian people depicted through the stamp. Even when we want to make an exhibition separately, we can take one as an example, jewelry, indigenous knowledge, jewelry done by the people of Harar, people of Wallo, these kind of things. Based on jewelry, we can make an exhibition somewhere. And also when we come to basketry, also we can make another exhibition, but through that exhibition we can teach the many features and many knowledge of indigenous knowledge in Ethiopia, but currently indigenous knowledge is very important in our education system. Ethiopia is a religious country, and the religion became before 40 during Ezana. Before that, so in order to explore the history of religious aspect through the stamp, we can use this kind of biblical terms through visually, and also we can see the crosses. There are so many crosses. We have categorized in three types of crosses. Neck crosses we have, and also hand crosses held by priestess. And this kind of processional crosses used to bless mass. When you go to Infifani, yes, this kind of jalmeda, this kind of things. So even those are also the presentation and representation of religious item also is very unique and important, depicted through stamp. These are also another basic knowledge. Architect, traditional buildings of our Ethiopia, traditional building house construction, not now like the cementos or something, iron or this kind of armata. But this kind of traditional, it is also as a part of indigenous knowledge, how people use from their local material, they live and they sustain and inhabit in their areas. Not only the picture, but the stamp have its own inscription. So the inscription by itself is in American English, it explains, but when you go to countryside, you will see, oh, this is from this, or from this, because you have experience, or other maybe they have experience. If those who are not experienced, they can read, and then they can understand from where this represents. You see the power of stamp to explain history. We can see in here, for instance, this is anniversary of Adwa, 100 years anniversary. The postal system, the postal institution produces three issues. The first one in 1955 anniversaries Adwa. The second one, 75 anniversaries of Adwa, victory of Adwa. The third one is this one. What is the difference between them? Why the post office issue this issue repeatedly? But there is a procedure, there is a principle. One thing, not duplicate in stamp, unless it has a new idea. You see, the 55 anniversary was told about the contribution of the religious aspect, the priestess and other spiritual contribution also. The second one is the patriot. It's talking about the patriot, but holding together with the other important, significant issue. The third one is very unique. At that time, there was an issue. There is a debate. The victory of Adwa is not the Adwa or the victory of Ethiopia. There is an African and there is a world issue because Japan used as a spring to win the Russia. So this is included the African issue. That's why this post office get new idea, bold idea, printed in this way. Because now Adwa is 127 years anniversary, but this one is historically why we issue, it has African issue. The unique nature of a stamp, when you want to issue one thing repeatedly, you have to change or you have to bring something unique. Otherwise, not duplicate or replicate, it's not allowed. So that's why the anniversary, you can make anniversary, for instance, at Sawa University, 50 years golden anniversary, 75 years golden, 100 years maybe. But it has something unique from the first one. Otherwise, we can't make anniversary. We still have one more, very unique. This is not anniversary. This is again unique nature of special character of stamp. The return of Aksum is a one action. We can't return Aksum twice or thirdwise. These things can't be duplicate, can't be anniversary or this kind of thing. So that the stamp have a nature one time issued. So the return of Aksum. Yes, yes. We have here in the post office also have the Kitab of Tedros and the cross of Lalibela, all these kind of things written from outside. The history of this one, maybe if it is important, if you allow me, this is the founder to become writer. I want to thank the late Professor Pancras. He is founder of Afromet. There is an institution to return the Aksum. But nowadays, his son, Dr. Alula, and also Dr. Alam Seged on the research side, and other official, government official, tourism institution are fighting and making campaign to bring. I think there is one successful things, Tedros's hair and other things, bring in National Museum. I want to ask you, one day, you call them here, all the members, and make a discussion and tell to them, why don't you make it or print issue through stamp, their effort. Let us talk about this central issue, which is very important. These are the awards of the exhibition, or the medals. You see from where they came. Ethiopia, not only Ethiopia, other Universal Postal Union always go to a meeting when they ask Universal Postal Union within 4 years. They are not really the country, all the countries, they are not live simply solo, but they hold their interesting stamps they produce or issue within that year or before. So they exhibit. At that time, there are so many experts, professionals, philatelists. They evaluate and they analyze things. So Ethiopia, after evaluation and analysis, she get an award. These are the cancelling machine, hand cancelling.
Okay.
You know,
call them
hand cancelling. This is the property or the tools. A stamp help to make a day or a time, because the stamp, after you print, you fix on the poster, there must be a stamp, because otherwise the return. Somebody, the sender also use. This is not good for the post office. It is loss. So that's why it is a one-way service.
Still being practiced.
Yes, practice, but now this change into machine.
Okay.
Now it is electronics, or if there is hard thing and magazine or big things, they use the steel. As we see before, the hand cancelling machine, but after that it developed to machine. This is also the cancelling machine. We put the postal here, and then it goes to this way, and then this machine gives a serial. So we can't use the postal stamp next time or for the second time. This is the development of the postal system showed through this machine. This also is together the cancelling machine, but this is not that much sophisticated. This is very hard to move, or this is easy, but all are the same function they did.
So are they functioning right now?
No.
There is one step change from the previous one.
Yes, definitely.
But this also been
advanced, and also nowadays they use electronics, as I told you, like ray or this kind of things. But this shows the historical movement of the postal system through these objects. So that's why we collect and kept in the museum as a heritage, because it's a part of the postal system.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a comment book kept in the National Postal Museum. And in the comment book, various visitors, tourists, and Ethiopians have put their ideas about the museum in general and their impressive ideas. And among the comments that I have read, one of the comments says that this is a national proud museum. And I really enjoyed all my experience in the museum, as it presents Ethiopian history, especially focusing on the historical phenomena and coming of the postal services. Keep it up, nice guide from our lovely person, Deraje. As you have seen, I am also responsible to put my impression about the museum and its important aspects I have seen in line with the postal services and its advancement until now. I've done my assignment. It has been a very exciting experience here at the National Postal Museum, and thank you for tuning with us. Do still tune with ETV English Language Explore Ethiopia program.
This one is an agricultural practice. This stamp tells us about the teff, which is endemic for us, then very unique. But when our stakeholders, especially school children, when they came to us, we can easily explain through this stamp the process of teff. It becomes from the first seed to the last one in Jera. So students, they can understand easily teff, its process, its geographical point of view, and the material, who participate, who do what, where together, this kind of things.
Until the final stage of
the final stage of Injera. And also together in this stamp we can indigenous knowledge of tools used to produce this kind of teff and its process. All this material done by indigenous knowledge person, and also our indigenous material we use, all these are still. Maybe in the future we will produce tractor or other things.
Yes,
and it has changed, yes. When we start that one, the Waliso, 11 the bicycle. Before that, barefooted, as we told the story, the service of the letters, bear to bear, door to door.
Yeah.
But they change into the bicycle, and then during their time also use this Suzuki. Suzuki is the original or the first motorbike came to here in Ethiopia.
Okay,
and then, yes, Suzuki. There are now so many terminology have the bicycle, but this one is very unique. And also this code is during the time, the yellow one, and also this 4 is for the government. This kind of implication tells us when. It helps us to study the history of the postal system, how changed from foot to bicycle to motorcycle and car, and then also airplane.
بوسطة لكل هلو مرسوم بتولو تبقالو.
As I told you, all 195 countries, they issue the memorial stamp. They give to the office, the Universal Postal Union office. The Universal Postal take over and then distribute to all members. So this is through that office, all we collect this.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a means of, increasing the number of collections. Many museums have a chance to collect either buy or either gift, exchange, or this is a means of acquisition is that one. But we are lucky, easily we get from the different countries through Universal Postal Union office. As I told you, they have a meeting always within 4 years. Within 1 year to exchange the function or the service of post office each or something like that, to make improvement, amendment of the protocol, the legal issue, or this kind of things. But during 4 years to change the leader or the general committee. So this kind of cases, these are the picture who did that time.
Where does it base?
The Universal Postal Union found in Switzerland, Bern city, so we can find the main office in Switzerland. These are also the same, so we display very familiar, easy to see, because that one is a slide out showcase is very difficult to see, but this one is easily displayed through the glass showcase, so people they can see and understand and find and learn from a stamp about the countries.
Okay.
When we see this stamp, for instance, maybe one can ask a question: why you collect all this? What is the significance? What is the importance? For instance, this stamp only can explain these things. As I told you, we are universal under the UN sector. There is an organ, UN Security Council. Ethiopia was win 3 times during Haile Selassie, during Derg, and during Ihadeg, because to have a non-permanent seat for 2 years, 3 times. So at that time under the UN, we are loyal and subjected to keep peace somewhere outside. We go to Congo, we go to other African country, we go to Korea. In 1950, we left to Korea. We make them, the peace is free. After that, the Korean people issued, after 50 years anniversary, the stamp. Through that stamp, what they did is they absolutely thank the countries who participate during that war. So the Ethiopia is here.
Yeah.
Through the flag in 1965, this is a thanks flag,
Okay.
a thanks country through the flag. So this kind of stamp help to us reference our history from outside.
Interesting. Very awesome.
Like what a person read, those who foreigner write Ethiopian history from outside, from America, from Markakis and Jonah Bain, or some things like that. This help us to understand our history from the stamp. Ethiopia has a very good diplomatic relation with all Africans, all European countries, like starting from, as we discussed, League of Nations, Americans, and others. Even Haile Selassie have a long history and the pioneer traveler to make a diplomatic relationship, because Kabeda Zarihun, he wrote a very big number of page books about these things we can read inside. He's a very pioneer among his president or previous rulers, because he go to there and to make a diplomatic relationship. So in order to that, when it come to post office, the post office want to explore Ethiopia's diplomatic relationships through stamp. We use this one, Ethiopian and Indian diplomatic relationships through this stamp. When what is new, what is unique, what is common for us, in this stamp we have Lalibela here. Yeah. The most tourist attractive place there is Taj Mahal. Yes. This is a very unique flower, Adey Ababa. This is a lotus, their national identity flower. So this is our flag. This kind of things make our relation 60 years during 2008. Historically, we can add, we can minimize, so this number helps to understand the history. In connection that Ethiopian and Indian diplomatic relationship, similarly, Ethio and Russia diplomatic relationship depicted through postal stamp or visual art. So the art and the message and also the principle of art elements and the procedure or the principle of design also included here. We can learn many things from here. The diplomatic relationship between Ethiopia and Russia, to explore, to make a relation with that, the painter and the designer, also the office and the national committee decided to relate two things. Like this one, Nicholas and also Balcha Banovso was the minister, the military at that time, and also the castle. Similarly, they have the same buildings, architectural buildings there. So this shows maybe there is a good relationship, or the artistic exchange share, or this kind of the power of art may be explained in this way. And also this one is Harari basketry, is very designed and decorated one. Also the pottery is also with set different attractive colors. Also when we see their potters, they use very decorative. We have a catalog, of course, here. When they see this catalog, they immediately came to see this kind of artworks, visual art. Not all, when they go to somewhere, Addis Ababa University or other places, they get some kind of information through different media. But when they came here through this postage art or visual media or stamp, they can get themselves here, so they feel happy, and then they took picture. They plan to do next time like 120, but 150 we have to encourage to make a stamp in a new version of information. The ministers, starting from during Menelik to currently now. So these are, during Menelik in 1900, the ministry office and the ministers was invented. So this is the first ministers. For this two row, continue with that, this two row, Posta and Tele together and under the minister. So those are the minister who run that two office together, but separately by the act or the proclamation. After that, the post office run by itself, the Tele gone by itself. So these are officials of post office.
I notice, if I'm not wrong, a woman.
Yeah.
That is Mrs.
Lula Besha.
Lula Besha. And of all the pictures, she is the only woman. And can you tell us what makes it unique?
Yes, she's a very talented woman. Still she's alive, but I heard and I read many post magazines. She's very tough, and then maybe selected because her talent is very suitable for this kind of institutions. When it comes to Gazai, he's very well known, and then I heard about and I read about him. He's very talented, and also one of the founder of Pan-African Postal Union. Even he worked as a director or a leader in that institution. So he's a very contributor for the development of post office and African Post. This one is a very unique person. He's a founder of Pan-African Postal Union also. He worked for 8 years at Gazai. So he's a contribution of Pan-African Postal Union, like Universal Postal Union in 1980. This is the final. It is very important. This is a very legend for us. It's a very iconic. When Haile Selassie built this building and then give to the Ethiopian people to use as a postal service institution, General Post Office, he wrote this script by his handwriting, and then he cut the ribbon by this golden coated scissor, and then he put into this plate. Okay. So this showcase is very exceptionally unique for us because it has a very good relation with this building and the postal history as well. This frame is very interesting. It helps us to summarize what we are talking about from the beginning to now, and also tells us some important figures, those who contribute to the improvement of the postal system, and also some institution, in Universal Postal Institution. For instance, as I told you, this is the very advisor of Menelik, Alfred Ilk. He's from Switzerland, and then professionally he's engineer. He helped Menelik a lot of things, like railway, the post system, the telephone, and the water in the palace, and also during Adwa translation and communication. So that's why he give Ethiopian name like rank or ceremonial name like Bitwoded. The next one is this one. This is the story begin our stamp. As I told you, there are 7 stamps came from Paris for the first time. So this is one out of the 7. So we can start the history of the stamp from this. So this summarizes all the 7 stamps and their history. This one is a letter written by Menelik to join the Universal Postal Union by the help, yes, definitely, by the help of this engineer, Bitwoded Alfred Ilk. Before we talk this one, or in connection with that, this is the logo of the Universal Postal Union. As I told you, in 1974, this Universal Postal Union found in Bern, Switzerland. In Swiss, this is a city shows. This is a fundamental or the foundational charter all the countries signed. So this shows like Addis Ababa, city of Addis Ababa, the Bern in Switzerland, the Universal Postal Union is found in that country. These are the last one, how the transportation of the postal service goes and reach today. As there are loyal, there are postal messengers officially hired, and then used to cycle, motorcycle, car, and nowadays, because of this technology and globalization, the communication of text and writing is not that much vast or much in number. But still, the post office have there are so many different services provided to the people, like packaging, like official material and secret things, take and send, receive, all these kind of things. So the technology affected it. But one thing, the technology is very important by negative. By the other side, AMS, fast moving, or this kind of things help to us. When you send any material, you can follow where it is, like a sighting, and where it is station, or this kind of things. You can get information immediately without coming here, because there is a code they will give you to track and trace. So this kind of benefit, because the server is in the Universal Postal Union, the complaint or your appreciation also immediately reach to the Universal Postal Union. According to even 2010, Ethiopian Postal is awarded because of its service quality, tracing and tracking. So technology also, again, is very helpful for us. So we encourage ourselves to do more or fastly with the full of quality. The media is very important. Still they help us, different Ethiopian government and non-government media. But when we ask them, some of them, they are not really programmed, or they are not maybe suitable for them accordingly. But when they plan to come here, they ask cooperation. So we are very happy because we are beneficiary. So we are lucky. By themselves they came and they make a documentary film, this kind of things. They announce on behalf of us. So the media is very, very helpful, very right hand for us. Thank you very much for your...
I really appreciate for
Thank
your
you.
brief and scientific explanation about the Postal Museum of Ethiopia. And thank you so much for your prize time.
Thank you.
It has been a pleasure.
Thank you, Mike.
ትዝታ በፖስታ ልኬልሃለሁ መልሱም በቶሎ እጠብቃለሁ።
Ladies and gentlemen, this will bring us to the end of Explore Ethiopia program, a program that have been introducing about Ethiopian culture, history, tradition, and above all, tourism. Our stay here at the Postal Museum have brought us very interesting experience, since we have been addressing the historical significance of the postal service, the past and the now. Until I see you with other Explore edition of Ethiopia, goodbye for me now. I am your host, Biniam Gitana.
ትዝታ በፖስታ ልኬልሃለሁ መልሱም በቶሎ እጠብቃለሁ።